Okay, so the opening slide here has what they will need to bring with them. So if you want to just send a friendly reminder, obviously you're in your buildings, which is nice. So you can be reminded in the morning to bring their device and their iReady teacher guide. They can just bring their first volume for what they're going to be looking for. We're not doing a connection per se because you've been in your buildings for the morning. So we wanted to give them as much time as possible to get into the work, but certainly to check in with each other as they come back into the space. We have our essential question here. How do we further explore iReady Classroom mathematics resources to review what we learned in April? So there are a couple of things that are on their must-do list and also just become more familiar with the materials. So giving them time to explore. There are quite a few learning targets that are listed there as well. Some of those are related to things that are in the must-dos of the activity that they'll do because we want to make sure some of those things are reinforced. And then we close at the bottom here, you can see with a KWL as a building, just to think and let people reflect on how the afternoon went. So that opening slide is there for you. You can have that up as people enter and then go ahead and when you get started, go over the essential question and learning objectives, reading them yourself or having volunteers read them to get you open for the day, the agenda, and then you can pause for a moment and see what people are most excited about as they think about what the agenda looks like for their time that afternoon. Once they pause and share in that excitement, we are going to have a very brief video. We'll get that in there by end of day tomorrow. It's going to be very short and sweet. If there are thoughts that you have from your building on like people really could hear this right now, please just like put it in the chat. Let me know that. But any steering members that would like to be a part of that as well, it'll really just be we created this professional development time in response to your feedback. We want to give you an opportunity to explore. There are some must-dos in there that have really important information we don't want you to miss about training and some of those FAQ document additions that we've made. And then really just kind of moving them forward so they have time to jump into the activity. So it'll be short and sweet. Then you're going to go over how they're going to walk through and navigate this guided exploration in professional learning teams. And so you can actually on this slide open up the document that they're going to use. These are going to be done electronically, and we did it that way because there are a lot of links within this document. So if they were printing it, they wouldn't have access to all those pieces. So they can make a copy as an individual and or as a PLT. And then they can literally, right after they make their copy, check off as they walk down this list. There are must-dos listed here in the first page. And a little bit into that second page. And they also have time frames about on them. Those are really just guidance for people to think about to make sure they get through all of the must-dos in that time and don't get stuck planning all of their first 5 days with kids in lesson 0, the first one. We're letting them kind of have a little bit of some of these things. And so hopefully teams can use that to make sure that they're having conversations about each one of these pieces. That is in the must-do checklist. For some of these, there are links for things we want them to go look at. Like the second one here is to go in and read the FAQ document. We've been adding to that based on questions and some things that feedback we got that people need to know. So it's really important that they click into these links that are in here, like the FAQ, like the teacher guardrails, and actually take a look at those for discussion. And then there are also some links that are just quick video tutorials so that if people are going back into their digital resource for the first time and they can't find it, they're not having to be frustrated with how to get back to the teacher toolbox. There's a really quick little screencast of how to navigate to that when they log into iReady. And keep going down. And again, people may go into further discussion about some of these and maybe a little less on others, and that's for your PLTs to sort of decide. Once they finish all of those must do's, then they're going to go into some optional may do's. And they can pick as many of these as they would like, or they can say, hey, we really want to plan to experiment with some of this in the spring. And so we're just going to spend time up here and plan to do some sessions with our kids this spring. And they would spend the rest of their time doing that, and that's okay. I would ask that they read carefully some of the guidance in here, especially around that particular spring experimentation, that is just for us as educators to learn and get familiar, because we have not been trained yet, we haven't communicated with our families yet, that would just stay in the classroom, right? Students are not going to be logging in to their iReady accounts until the fall and things like that. So those are your may do's. We did provide, people had asked about like wanting to watch a full session video. And I have a video I recorded. I just haven't added it here, so I'll add it in. They can watch a quick video of how to get to Success Central, which is another resource they have, like their teacher toolbox that just has all these different tools and videos for them. And so I have a little video of how they can get to that and then filter to watch like a whole third grade lesson, for example. And so I'll add that in there as well. They will also have a really quick form that they'll fill out at the end, and then they're going to go into a drawing. I have some fun little iReady swag that we'll randomly select to hand out to people. So you would want to give them the bulk of this time to do that work together. And the next slide has a click here so they can make a copy. And I will also put a QR code on there so that they can get to this really quickly, either the slides or that document. And then if you're staying in the same large space, or if you want people to come back for those last like 10, 15 minutes, if you have some Post-its and they can bring something to write with, have them just fill in a Post-it for something that now here at the end of the afternoon, something I know, something I still want to know, and something that I learned today. And that would be a building KWL that you'll just snap a picture of, or if you did it on an anchor chart and you'd rather just send it to me at the PLC, that's totally fine as well. And there is a professional learning survey. I don't know. I want to take a look at that. I don't know that it'll be relevant for an exploration day. So I'll check on that and see if we need to complete something like that. What questions are coming up for you that I can go back and review?
I think the only question I had is a very technical one, just that checklist. If it can be view only, then nobody will forget to make a copy. Like they'll have to make a copy in order to edit it. I don't know if it's already set that way and maybe we just have editing access because
some of you do, but that's a really good, that's a really great little check. I appreciate it.
Just to make sure somebody's not accidentally like, check, check, check. And you're like, no.
Done?
Emily's going to delete half of them, I'm sure.
Yeah, it looks like everybody is a viewer except for you.
You know I will.
I tagged Emily.
Emily will be like, I don't know what happened.
Do you think you anticipate it being beneficial to have everybody in the same space, just kind of in grade level teams? I'm just recognizing that there's like no expert in the room. So when questions come up, is it like, oh, second grade ran into something similar? I mean, that's kind of how I would maybe envision it being most supportive. I don't know if teachers are going to love that idea of all staying in the same space. I just wonder what you think about that.
I think that is a good idea, especially given the fact that there are not a lot of experts, period, thus far within this. And so if people are getting stuck on something, I know Amy was talking about just kind of working a little bit ahead at least so that it wasn't like I get a question and I can't help people move forward. It would be easiest for someone like you all as leaders of this to be able to access questions that come up like that. I definitely think there could be some trickiness if teams go back and do their own thing to just get around and support them. But it's your building, so if you feel strongly the other way, then does anybody else want to share what they were thinking if that was different? Or
I think we were just going to stay all in one room so that I wasn't waddling from place to place to show them like where in their guide something is. The long building, and I'm not very fast right now.
Hey, Lexi.
Yeah.
We're going to do ours in the morning. We've just kind of like flip-flopped our schedule.
Well, sure.
Just so you know. So if people start turning in their, like,
Oh, yeah.
It's not that they didn't do it. And just
So it's not
turned it in.
cheating. They just
we're
are.
actually doing it in the morning.
Okay.
We're also doing it in the morning.
Perfect.
So we're also not cheating.
Good to know. Would have been my first thought. Just kidding.
My question kind of goes along with that for the time frame. Are we thinking like that this should take 2 hours, 3 hours? Like, is there a expected time amount to
think, Amy, what did I say? I had it like under 2, what was it? 30, 40, 50, 60, 70.
Yeah, and I think like a lot of your individual time estimates are also like generous in a nice way.
Yeah.
Where it's not like, oh, Lexi said this would take 15 minutes and it took us 45, but like some of the things might say, so I didn't add up the times, but it seems to me like
The must-do should be, must-do should be 2 hours at the very longest. And that's if you have like nice, rich discussion for some of them. But I tried to keep that 2 hours so then they could, and that could be like a hybrid. You could do the must-dos together in the same room because you want to like make sure everybody gets through those okay. And then the may-dos are like, we're going to go watch videos. Great. Come back at whatever time. Yeah, that would work too. Anything that you think would be good to share in the video outside of just some like excitement and letting them know that we kind of crafted this time to give them what they need, but also just have fun. Time to just kind of look around without anybody telling you what to do, maybe.
We had said in several different PDs and videos that we would have more guidance on bridges for the 15th. Is that what part of that video is going to be?
I don't know. So we currently have all of the, like, what we have to share with the person that would buy or donate them. We definitely could say, hey, your bridges binders, your assessment binders, number corner binders, those are going to go to a place as designated by your principal. But I don't know that we would have principals would have to know that then, right? So that would kind of be up to them. And then I don't know when they would want to collect that stuff based on the timing of the year. That would have to be sort of building level. So I could talk to principals and just see how they felt about that. When whatever's happening to them, they are going away. So principals will have to collect them, right? Somewhere. So I guess that could be just a building principal could say that on Friday if they knew where they were going to collect them and when they wanted to start doing that.
And I assume
What about manipulatives?
Manipulatives is in the document that they're doing, and it says that you can keep them, but you are getting brand new classroom kits, and it gives them the link to look at what they're getting. And it also says you're not getting more storage. So if you have no place to put all these and you have some old ones that aren't full sets, you might want to recycle them or donate them somewhere too.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's okay. Got a lot of information to look at.
we've also been talking about like checking with cross-cap people in the building and like interventionists because they don't necessarily always get the same kinds of materials, so they might want them, but maybe in some buildings they have more.
The only
Like,
other thing too would be if you're a summer school site,
Mhm.
and you have like some workplaces for that grade level that are owned and kids know and will use, then if you're a summer school site, that's what they're going to have. Like no one's trained on iReady. So, yeah, I can put that in there as well in that FAQ to make sure people read that. And that's part of the must-dos for summer school sites at least.
One of my questions that I had for you that came up last Thursday that I feel like would be beneficial for everyone. Can I ask that now? Because I feel like
Yeah, sure.
So we were talking a lot about the MLRs, the math language routines,
Mhm.
and right. And so people were wondering, are we going to have an extra leg to lift, like in year one, teaching those different MLRs to our current grade level who's experiencing it for the first time? Or because, like down the road, our kinders are going to learn it for our first graders and first to
Sure.
go second. So they've learned those MLRs. But for year one, I was trying to dig into the teacher guide and see if they're explicitly taught, kind of like how Bridges teaches partner routine, whatever. But as I'm working through the guide, I'm noticing it just bolds it and says, okay, we're going to do the connect and compare. That's not the right one, but whatever.
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
right.
It
Mhm.
doesn't actually explain that process.
Yeah.
So are we as a team going to have to do a heavy load on like helping teachers learn those routines and understanding in year one? Because they just pop up in curriculum. That was one of the big questions at our site that popped up.
Yeah,
I
go ahead. Somebody is talking.
Well, I think it does come up at least a little bit in lesson 0.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, but like when we've been doing kind of our own math PD, we also read the routines from the guide.
Yeah.
So we have like a sense of what it is. And they're pretty straightforward. It doesn't feel like it'll be a huge lift, but I think it does come up in 0.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
anticipate it
these-
to be a super big lift. We did not hear that from 6-8. And it's sort of embedded into the natural like strategy of the day for a particular activity or an opening slide. If we find that like people are really struggling with that, like we could bring that forward, right? And talk about what sort of PD we could adjust for them when we're getting professional development in year one. But I
found some good resources online when I looked like going to grade levels that like you would find. I found them where they are in the teacher guide to talk about, to explain to staff. And then I found the online resource that just has your grade levels as well with hyperlinks built into that. So those were good that I found so far. And like I said, no one seemed concerned. It was just a question like, ooh, these kids aren't going to have it previously, right? So we're in year one teaching them all as we're working through
as you're
everything.
doing it. Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Mhm.
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a good question.